Hey everybody, Critical here, and I'm bringing you some knowledge from Astroneer. Let's get to it. Now I've already got to this planet, and I've got my habitat down, and I ran around and I got the resources necessary to expand all 5 expansions from my habitat. You can only do 5 expansions from your habitat. Once you've done it in the way that I have set up here, you can no longer increase the size of your base. If you just take a little bit of time and plan how you're going to set up your base before you start laying it out, you can avoid this problem. That's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to give you what I use for a layout. Now, I know a lot of people are doing Astroneer. It's almost to the point that it's oversaturated. Everybody on YouTube is doing Astroneer. It's the new shiny object. It's starting to drop off now, but this is the game that got me into wanting to do YouTube videos. Just before Christmas, this game came out. I jumped on it, and oh my God, I fell in love with it. I was everything into it. I was consuming all the knowledge. I was playing it as much as I could, and I found that I had a lot of cool ideas. So I was watching some of my favorite YouTubers, Cage and Games for Kicks and Game Edge, and they were walking into the pitfalls that I'd already basically fallen into myself and figure out how to get around. And I wanted to share my knowledge. And I'm sitting here doing little doodles on paint at my office and texting those out because I have no way to get how I want to get that information to them. I have no way to provide that information. I had some other cool ideas on how you could maximize your space on the shuttle and the ship, and I was in there taking pictures of my computer screen with my iPad, and I was so frustrated that I had all these cool ideas that I really wanted to share, and I had no way to share it. That's where my desire to start doing YouTube video comes from. This is the layout that I started out with. This is a mistake that I made, and I saw several other people their names will not be mentioned in this video to protect their status as awesome YouTubers. But I made the same mistake, and I don't want anybody else to make it either. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump out of here, and I'm going to go to the other planet that I already have set up for us, and I'll show you what I normally do when I start a new base. Be right back. Okay, we're back. Now I'm about to load into a world, the second planet that I made, and I do have a completely different Astroneer. There's no cheating here. I didn't reload the game or anything like that. This actually is a different planet that I landed on. But you'll see I have the same setup. I've got my 2 solar panels on my life pod, and I've already dug a couple holes, and I went ahead and dropped some resources in there. Okay, got a lot of resin on this one. This was a nice planet for this. So I'm gonna go and get my resin on me. Backpack full. Okay, now what I like to do is, first off, I like to try to flatten the area out. Alright, to do that we got to pull out our flattener tool. Now to get to that, you're going to use the control. This right here, in this orientation, it's going to take the ground away. If I hit Alt, I'll be able to put some of that ground back, and I can keep going up, and yes, you can actually build straight up into the air, jump off, and die. It's fun. I won't tell you what some streamers did on their streams, what they were building, but think about it. Yep, exactly what they did. And then, of course, the all-famous copy tool. Now, a lot of people call this the leveling tool. I consider it more of a copy tool. This area right here is raised up. If I take it around, I can raise everything around it. But if I go into this flat lower area and I pull it toward me, I'm pulling that flat ground, that flat level, I'm copying it all the way around. So I'm going to go ahead and flatten this out, try to get this area nice and flat as I possibly can. Reasonably. At least until my power runs out. Oh, joyful. Organic. Useful in some quarters. All right, let's get that out of my way and drop it over there. So when I got this nice flat area, okay, what am I going to do with it? Well, you go to your life pod, click on it, and it pulls out a resin. Now, I do have a little bit of OCD. I like to keep things in line. I like to keep my edges straight. I like to keep my my buildings even. I like to make sure my walls are odd numbers, especially in 7 Days to Die. Now, if I were to go ahead and put 2 more resin on this expansion pod, it would become a build platform. I don't want to do that. I'm going to expand it out again. Click on it again, pull out more resin. Now, I don't have to go. It'll follow me around. I can go in different angles if I want, but I like to do it in a straight line. Yes, that's OCD. That's me being a perfectionist. As straight as I possibly can. Go ahead and do that again. Now, at the bare minimum, I'm going to go out at least 3 times for my life pod before I ever create a building platform. All right, I'm going to go out 4 this time, but never do I go less than 3. And I usually like to do out at least 4, if not 5. So we'll pull out one more time. Let's go get some more resin. We will need it for this. It was so helpful the Astroneer came out here and laid out resin for me. It makes this part easy. Let's get this organic and drop it out of the way. This first expansion pod right here, I'm not going to do anything with it. This is where I would be putting batteries. I love placing batteries, or if I have enough batteries, I'll use it as a location to put a storage module on. You can never have too much storage in Astroneer. The second one, this is on this build platform right, or the expansion pod right here. What I like to do is this is where I'll put my power generation, either solar panels or wind generators. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this one out. That's going to create my first build platform. And I'm going to go ahead and complete it. Now, you can either do a printer, a research, the smelter, a vehicle bay, and we're right back to printer. So what I like to do first is I like to put up my smelter here, and then I come right next to it with my build platform. I'm going to pull it back out. We're going to go ahead and complete this. And then right next to it, I like to have my printer. This way, when I'm done smelting, I can drop it right here for my printer to use. I don't have to be running around all over my base trying to find resources. I keep everything in nice line. This one right here, I'm going to pull it out. Oops, put that back. Oh, I ran out of resin. That's definitely a hazard in the very beginning. Always running out of resin. Yes, that's resin. Can you pick it up for me? My Astroneer is being difficult today. At least he keeps pointing out where the resin's at. Now I've got this set up. I've got my smelter, my printer. The next thing I like to do is put my research. Now, I always put my vehicle bay at the end of the line. Now, the only thing with this is once you have created the end of the line, once you have put that last expansion pod out, and you go ahead and turn this into a build platform, you can no longer extend out this way. So if you're going to do this, make sure that's as far as you want to go. And so this one I would be making a vehicle bay out of. So that is the basic layout that I set up when I start a new game. I like to keep it all in line. This keeps it all nice and neat. Now, there's another trick I'm going to show you. If you've ever played this game, you know that once you've created your vehicle bay and you've got your vehicles, and then you decide, okay, I'm going to go ahead and make a shuttle or the spaceship. You're going to create it, but it's going to take over your vehicle bay. Your vehicle bays, basically the bay is going to be used as a landing position for the shuttle and or your spaceship. And you can't move it unless you take off from the shuttle and land at a different location and then run back to it. That vehicle bay is always going to be basically a shuttle bay now. So I'm going to go ahead and expand it out 4 more times on this side, just like I did on the last one. I went out 1, 2, 3, and 4. Got to make sure everything is even. Do not want to build something that isn't even. And I'm going to go ahead and pull out one last time, go ahead and extend this out. And this last one, I'm going to create a second vehicle bay. This is the vehicle bay that I would use if I wanted to build a shuttle or if I wanted to build the spacecraft. The cool thing about this, it gives you a second location to land at. Now, if I was going to take off, get above this world, and I'm rotating around, this area would have two bubbles. It would have a bubble for the vehicle bay on my right in the game currently, and it would have a second bubble to my left. So that way, if I needed to move the shuttle from one vehicle bay to another for whatever reason, or if I had the spaceship and a shuttle in this area, I'd leave the shuttle at one location, I could put the spaceship at another, and I won't run into those problems of not being able to... You can land a shuttle and a spaceship at the same location. They can utilize the same exact spot, and they literally land right on top of each other. It doesn't stop you, it doesn't hurt the game or anything, but it can be mighty confusing trying to remove resources and your storage modules from a shuttle or a spaceship that has another shuttle or spaceship stuck into it. So let's go ahead and get some compound real quick, because the next thing I want to show you is how power works. Now, there's been a lot of discussions. A lot of people say that the power will not transfer through the habitat to the rest of your modules, the rest of your building platforms. We're going to go ahead and dispel that right now. I'm going to go ahead and take these solar panels and drop them off here. And they instantly find the sun, which I think is really cool. That is a really nice feature that other games might have missed, that the solar panels actually do actively follow the sun. I think that is really cool. And then I'm going to go all the way back over here to the research module. Now, as soon as I put this on, I'm going to go ahead and zoom out a little bit. And if you didn't know, use your mouse wheel. You can zoom in and you can zoom out. And yes, I can sit here and do this all day. Go ahead and put your compound on and tell it to go and build your research platform. Now it's going to start taking power. The only place it's getting the power from is those solar panels at the far end. Conclusive proof that the power will transfer through these modules. Now, there have been some bugs in the game where for some reason power will not flow to a build platform once you've created it. If this happens to you, you can build a vehicle, you can put your energy generation items on that vehicle and connect it to this little nodule right here. It'll then feed power into that platform, even though that platform won't take power from the rest of your base, just in case you find yourself in that predicament. So that's my suggested base layout. If you were to start a new game in Astroneer and set your base up like this, I can expand infinitely from this setup. I can come out from this expansion pod and just keep coming out this way. I can go out the other way. I can come over here and start a whole new line and just keep going. And if there was if I had on this world had one of the crashed satellites over here, I could build expansion pods all the way out here and connect a vehicle between the two and actually power my base from that solar panel if it was close enough. I'm going to show you how to use the copy tool, well, the leveling tool if I wanted to stay in line with the devs, but I'll call it the copy tool, to close over a hole. Because if you're trying to get from one side of a big ravine to another one, this little trick will definitely help. So I go ahead and get it to my copy tool, and what I'm basically doing is I'm pulling that level ground all the way across from one side to the other. And what I like to do is go to the other side and pull that level ground back across. Of course, I have run out of power in the middle of my demonstration, but it worked. I can walk over this with no problem. Do this 2 or 3 times on either side and I can drive over it. So this is very useful. Yes, you can do the electric slide over the chasm. Nice job, my Astroneer. Okay, everybody, that's everything for today. Gave you us a little bit of knowledge and a possible base layout and Astroneer. If you have any questions, please let me know. You have a nice day.